Gardner, big win on Saturday, double overtime. Coach, talk about that win. What it meant for your confidence in the last month of non-conference season coming up.
Well, honestly, I'm really pleased where we are right now with our program. We're making progress. We've been in most of our games, minus 3 games we haven't been in, but we're being put in situations, time and score situations. We've gotten down and haven't come back. We got down. The game Saturday was about every situation you could be in. We got up, and then we lost the lead. Then we got down, and it was the first time we'd ever gotten down and came back. And so I told them I was proud of that. And then for us to persevere, I had given them about 7 goals that I wanted us to try to reach without having to practice, and we really were focusing on that. And I just keep seeing them growing. I think part of the reason is because we're an older team. We've got 2 grad students. We've got a senior in Stacy, and we have 2 junior college transfers. So I think the maturity of them is helping us. We're not hanging our heads. We're very positive in practice, and I'm really liking the direction that we're going.
From a confidence standpoint, I know you mentioned, just being able to battle back after you guys were down in OT, but what is the confidence level like for that team after that kind of win?
I think everyone was so exhausted after that. In the locker room, it was a happy locker room, but it was exhausting. And yesterday, I think it was Sunday, and we did try to have it. We always practice on Sundays and try to just go kind of low key. And it was a little bit more dead yesterday than normal, and so we didn't go that hard. But we had to practice because we have Georgia Tech tomorrow. But like I said, I don't think it's just that game. I kind of felt a shift at Charlotte, quite honestly. Even though we didn't win, I just feel there's something that's good happening. We're not getting overconfident by any stretch, but as a coach, that intrinsically, I don't need any external motivation, but and absolutely hate the feeling of losing. For some reason, I feel like we're in a really good place.
You said earlier that November is kind of figuring it out, for figuring out who you can trust in those different situations. I know you mentioned you got a few of those situations against Austin Peay, but after that first month of the season, what are some of those things maybe you've learned about this team?
Well, one thing is I kind of knew before the season even started who should be taking shots, where those shots should be from. But I didn't have any ammunition. And now that we had like 6, 7, 8 games, I finally had stats. And I could say, okay, you're shooting 3 for 18 from 3. This is not your shot. And I had to kind of have that to back me up. And now we have the right people taking the right shots in the right places. And I think that's helping us as well. I'm really looking forward to exam week. I think it's going to give us time to kind of, as coaches, be able to coach our players again instead of every single day being in preparation for the opponent, even though we're still doing that. I mean, in my shooting practices right now, typically it'll be like, okay, let's just jog through our offenses. Let's go through their side out of bounds. Let's get some shots up. Boom, let's go back to the hotel. But now I find myself teaching every single opportunity as hard as I can, every minute that is supplied to me, and shooting practice as well. And I've told them that. I said, look, I'm going to fix everything because I got to take advantage of every single moment of practice. And so that's, I love practice, and I love practice. So I think they're buying into it. All 5 of our starters have not played it at Mercer or started at Mercer or even played at Mercer. So they're still trying to get to know each other. And I think that's one reason I feel like we're going in the right direction.
Do you feel like that trip to Savannah and these sort of road environments that you guys have had, has that been a source of kind of gelling everybody together a little bit?
Well, we had a captive audience for sure. We were on the road, I think, from Tuesday to maybe Saturday or something like that. So we had time. It was weird because our games one was at 11:30 and one was at noon. So we just got up, ate, went and played the game, and then we had that evening to discuss it and get. Well, one day we didn't even have practice, for Marist, but I think we had a captive audience. We had plenty of film work. They weren't really missing class. It was Thanksgiving weekend, so it was a grueling stretch. I'm not gonna lie. It was 4 games in 7 days. It was tough, but we did grow. We got killed by Bowling Green, and we had no practice to get ready for Marist that we played at noon, and we came out and played one of the best games of of the year so far. And I told him, I said, well, I guess my practices are overrated because we did nothing but watch film, so I don't know. But I was really proud of their bounce back because they certainly could have hung their heads after that game.
How thankful are you for that maturity on your team right now?
Literally, prayerfully thankful, like literally, morning and night. So I do think that's the difference, The times have changed. We don't have the freshmen and the sophomores that we brought up through the years that we used to have. And so I've got to adjust to the times, and I think that these guys are semi-adults, and you can have conversations with them without hurting their feelings. You can have serious conversations with them. You can tell Deja, hey, you know what, Deja, you probably should have given Bree the ball at the end of the game instead of forcing that shot. And she said, yeah, Coach, you're right. Instead of saying, oh, no, well, I didn't, instead of, excuses. So you can have those types of mature conversation with the players.
Last thing for me, you mentioned those goals that you set out for them. Were those all off-the-court things?
No, those were like, okay, I'll just give one example. We are doing an awful job in free throw pinching. When the other team is shooting a free throw, the other team is getting multiple offensive rebounds a game, which is a major pet peeve of mine. And so we watched every single pinch, what we call pinch, whether or not the other team got the ball or not, to see was that a good pinch. And it could be simple, okay, if this is the big post, you put your biggest post here and you put the correct guard. I mean, and I just saw them, they were just talking about, hey, make sure, and they reminded each other of those types of things. And we did get better. We lost one versus Austin P, but that was to the shooter, so. But just something as minor as that, but those types of things win championships. That's what I understand. Every possession, you never know which possession it's going to be that could win a championship, and it could be as simple as a free throw pinch. So something minor like that. Not off the court. Off the court, we're good. It's just these little things that we're not getting quite yet.